What's up, people? So let's jump right into it. So back in 2007, during my annual performance review, my manager sent me back his feedback, and I was reviewing them, and then before I get on a call to talk about why he rated me what he rated, and I didn't like some of the areas where he rated me, average or below average, and my manager's name was Paul. So when I got on the call with him, I asked Paul, I appreciate you giving me high marks, but I see there are areas where I did not do well. What can I do to improve in those areas, right? And that's coming from the culture I was brought up in, which is in Bangladesh. My parents have always said, if I didn't do well in one subject, whether it's English or whether it's maths, they would actually, I was given a private tutor on that particular subject so that, I could do better in that. So obviously I come from that mentality and I wanted to do better. But Paul took a pause and then he says, Sajid, I don't want you to focus on areas you didn't do well. And I was like, what? Why is he saying that? Because, does he not like me? And this is a manager who was my manager for about a year. I was like, does he not like me? Why does he not want me to be focused on areas that I didn't do well and I want to do well the next year? But he keeps on saying, no, I want you to focus on areas you did very well and expand on it. And I was like, but I want to focus on these areas. Right? So we went back and forth with the tug of war, and he says, think about it. And I did. A week later, I spoke to him again, and he explained to me, look, Sajid, no matter what you do, you are good at some things. And no matter what you do, if you want to focus on things that you are weak in, you will never become a 10 out of 10 on those areas. You will always be average, or you will spend more time on strengthening your weak areas. And over time, what's going to happen is you are going to also lose the areas you're strong at, and that's going to also become average. So eventually you're going to become average, right? So he's saying focus on your competencies and enhance on that, work on that, and don't try to be an overachiever who knows everything. We don't have to. So how does that relate to things we all do? And I see a lot of overachievers do is, we try to do everything all at the same time, right? We think we are good at managing people. We think we're good in marketing. We think we're good in our operations. We think we're good in strategy. But unfortunately, the truth is that we are not good in everything. And our task as a, individual, as an entrepreneur, as the CEO of our own life is to find areas we do very well and delegate the other things to other people. Right. Some people do planning very well. Other people suck at it. Right. Some people are born leaders. They can lead people. They can move people forward. And other people are not leaders. They're more like, sit back and things like that. Now, when I recently read Warren Buffett's book and I saw an interview with Puff Daddy with Ray Dalio, right. And they again talked about same thing. Focus on your circle of competency, right? Don't go and start doing things that you're not good at. And again, in my line of work, I see people, entrepreneurs who try to do everything on their own, right? And it took me a long, long time, and I struggled with, John says, have depth in one area and breadth in many. Yes, exactly, John. Obviously, and that's a great point John makes, in terms of, and I read a book recently called Range, and that talks about it, right? Do not specialize on something early on. Have a breadth of experiences, know what you're good at, know what you're not good at, and then focus on areas that you do. And the other reason what John is saying, obviously, if you have some knowledge, you could cross transfer. So like if you're in marketing and you dabble with sales and IT, you'd be able to cross communicate. Right, you'll be able to cross communicate, and you'd be able to take ideas across and be able to when you're talking to marketing department, you would be able to talk to marketing language, and when you're talking to IT department, you can talk to an IT language, and they can all eventually understand that these people are very, very valuable to an organization, right? So yes, that's good, but again, doesn't mean that I have to become the best marketeer, and I don't have to become the best salesperson, and I don't have to become the best IT person, because look at it, I suck at creativity, right? You give me something to draw, I have no idea. But you give me a problem to fix, I can work on it and I can solve that problem, right? I am the Mr. Solution for the problem. But you tell me to like, hey, is it going to be yellow color or green color? I'll sit at it for 24 hours and I'll be like, scratching my head and I have no idea, right? And I've seen some artists who can actually paint on a blank canvas, or who can design and draw in a blank canvas as if, it's coming somehow. I cannot do that. I just cannot do that. And it's funny, even though I work in marketing, is because what's actually happens is I can take a company organizational problem, challenges, and I can build a strategy in terms of how we will execute it and what everything that should happen, the concept and things like that. But what I do not good at is I cannot like design, right? I cannot make a logo to save my life, right? I cannot design a Facebook post if I have to save my life. Like maybe I can if you're holding a gun to my head, but that's not my core competency. So I hope it serves you well. All I will say is, as we are ending 2019, that advice from Paul, that small advice, really served me well, right? And, it continues to serve me well. It will continue to serve me well in the next decade. But, please don't get some experience. Understand what the concepts are, but don't try to become the master of marketing, sales, IT, and CEO and operations. That's too many vast areas. If you were, chances are, you would be elsewhere. But usually a great leader, what they do is they bring in smart people and surround themselves with smart people, so that they fill the holes or the weak areas that they're not strong at. Maybe that's the right English. I do not know. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed. Thank you very much for tuning in. Until next time, take care. Bye-bye.